Welcome to Amazing Science Lessons. I am Connie Reza, and we have been doing a series on demonstration lessons on the unit of insects. Today I'm going to demonstrate day 6, and as you can see, this is a 2-week unit on insects. How do we start a lesson? How do we start a science lesson? That is through our novelty. Through our novelty, we capture the children's attention. And what is this? This is an ant. And what type of animal is this? It's an insect. So I am trying to capture children's curiosity, get their focus, and get their attention through the insect, which is my novelty. Through my novelty, I'm going to review. Let's review everything we've been studying about insects, everything. How many parts does an insect have? How do they hear with the little feelers? How do they walk? How many legs do they have? And of course, I am going to point to all the words. What is the cycle of the insects? How does the insect begin? With an egg. So the review is very important, very critical. And as you can see, the review tends to get longer and longer each day because there's more to share and more to identify. Now, what you can also do is just talk about what you did yesterday mainly and review very briefly the other areas, because as the days go by, there's going to be a lot more to share. After our review, now let's go into our specific objective. Today, we are going to identify what insects like to eat. And I stress that I always like to connect to children. For them to understand what an insect likes to eat, let's connect to what do children like to eat. What do you like to eat? So let's do our engagement. Our engagement today is going to be where children are going to get to taste. I'm going to give them a fruit and a vegetable. They're going to get to taste an apple, and they're going to get to taste a carrot. It's 2 different types. And this is mainly trying to get them to connect, and again, trying to connect to the 5 senses. The children are going to be tasting it, they're going to be looking at it, they're going to feel it, they're going to taste it in their mouth. Remember, they cannot taste an insect. They just looked at it, they observed it, they investigated. Now, through the fruit, they're going to get to taste something, feel it in their tongue, in their taste. So what I'm going to give them, every child is going to take a piece of carrot and a piece of an apple. Every child will take one of each. And I'm going to tell them, okay, first of all, I want everybody to taste your apple. Put it in your mouth, and I want you to really tune in to what does it taste like? How does it feel in your mouth? Can you hear any noise when you're crunching the apple? And how do you like it? Do you like the taste? Okay, now I want you to take your carrot. And they're both kind of crunchy, which is okay. And remember, you can use any fruit and any vegetable. You can bring in an apple and an orange, or you can bring a banana. Use any kind of it, as long as children get to taste something. Some kind of a fruit and some kind of a vegetable. Then with the carrot also, how does it taste? Is it sweet? Is it sour? So after they taste it, then, and you interact with them. Now I'm going to give you a little piece of paper, and I want you to draw which one was your favorite fruit, and which one was your favorite taste. Was it the apple or was it the carrot? Which one was favorite? You have to choose one. So try to give a variation, not 2 that are sweet. That's why I use an apple, a fruit and a vegetable, because this way they get to taste 2 different types. So after they do that, then I'm going to say, okay, draw me what your favorite was. Was it the apple or was it the carrot? So children will get to draw that. Now while they're drawing it, I'm going to turn to my chart and I'm going to say, which fruit or vegetable did you like best? So I'm going to put which fruit or which vegetable did you like best? Okay? I'll put vegetable. I'll just abbreviate. But for your classroom, make sure you write everything out. Which fruit? Is it apple or is it the carrot? Let me bring this up a little bit so that the video will be able to capture it. Now when children come up, they're engaged. Oh, I really like the apple, so they'll put the apple here. So we're going to construct a small graph. I'll get my sheet won't stay up there. Now, another child will come and say, oh, I like the carrot. My favorite was the carrot. And then another child will come up and say, oh, mine was the apple. And notice when they drew the apple, they also wrote the word apple, apple. And another child will come up and say, well, my favorite was the apple. Great. So which one do we find that's getting to be the favorite? Oh, we're getting to see that apples are the favorite ones, right? Why do you think apples are getting to be the favorite? Oh, maybe they're sweet. And let children answer. I'm just giving you more or less what children would answer. And now another child, okay, no, well, I like the carrot. So let's put the carrot there. So how many carrots do we have so far? 1, 2. How many apples do we have so far? 1, 2, 3. So as you can see, I'm building a graph with their favorite food, either which fruit or vegetable. And at the same time, we're also counting. So for the sake of those children that are still struggling with numbers, this is a great way to continue reinforcing numbers. A great way to introduce graphs, and it's through our science, and it's through what insects like to eat, because we're going to connect to what insects like to eat. Now after we finish, of course, we'll continue to add apples, carrots, continue to add until our graph is probably going to be pretty high. And so you can see that it really builds that prediction. What do you think the class will choose? So at the end, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to add it here. We had 3 apples. And of course, you probably will have a lot more than just 3. I'm just stopping here for the video purpose and just to give you an idea of how you can introduce graphs, how you introduce what insects like to eat, and how you connect to children own. And then of course here 2, so which number is higher? Number 3. Which number is bigger? Number 3. Which one has more? Number 3. Apples have more. Which have less? Now 2 have less. Look at all the skills that are being learned just through this little activity that children actually constructed themselves and were actively engaged. Now let's connect with literacy. Now I like this book because it has a lot of information about all the different areas and topics that we've been studying about insects. On this particular one, let's look and see what insects like to eat. Oh, they like to eat flowers. Do you like to eat flowers, children? No, they don't eat flowers. But insects also, they also like to eat cereal. They also like cold. They like sweet things. Oh, do you think they like apples? Yes, probably insects like apples too. So through the literacy, now we can go in and see what all things insects like to eat. Wow, insects don't only eat food, they also eat plants, and they eat flowers, they go into the branches. So through our literacy, we're gaining new knowledge. And as we gain new knowledge, we'll continue to add to our chart. Oh, what do insects like to eat? Let's go ahead and add it. What do the insects eat? E-A-T. What do the insects like to eat? Oh, they like to eat plants. P-L-A-N-T-S. What else do they like to eat? Food. Oh, same as children. They like to eat food. So, and of course, as you brainstorm on what they like to eat, you can also add this as a big chart and even write it here. What do they like to eat? Make a circle. They like to eat plants, P-L-A-N-T-S, plants. What else? Food, F-O-O-D. They like to eat food. What else do insects like to eat? According to our book, what else did we gather? Flowers, F-L-O-W-E-R-S. So can you see all the print that we're adding, all the information? So they continue to learn new information through our literacy. Now, what about the internet? What about the technology? Let's go into technology and let's see, what do insects like to eat? Now, through technology, they're going to find out that insects like to eat other things. They eat wood. So let's add what else they learned from technology. Okay, let's add wood. Oh, yes, they do like to eat wood. What else? They like to get into our skin. So they also like to eat some of our own, some blood out of our skin. So continue to add those words, because I have seen my own students, after they've been on the internet, they'll come out and say, we need to add that word to our chart. The next day when we're reviewing, we'll go ahead and read all those words again. Isn't that exciting? How much children can learn through science? They can do math, they can do investigation, they can do research, reading about, and these are small children. This is geared for pre-KK, first, even second. And then, of course, at the end, what is our final question? Share one thing you learned that insects like to eat. Flower, wood, plants. So allow children to share, allow them to just, even if they say just one word, that's okay. So can you see throughout the whole lesson, children are actively engaged, involved, interacting with the teacher, instead of just the teacher lecturing and giving out information. Connect with children, everything you're doing. This concludes day 6, and tune in to day 7.